A cost of living crisis, out of control inflation, and now, quite possibly, the biggest interest rates hike in a generation. A tough time to be searching for your first home. Lewis, a mortgage broker from Mansfield, helps new buyers make that first step.
12 months ago, the mortgage payment on that mortgage could have been eminently affordable. But of course, that may be not the case now.
An interest rate rise means you'll be paying back more on mortgages and other loans. It can make it much harder to get onto the property ladder. Lewis manages the deals between his clients and lenders. An interest increase can cause that to collapse.
Often we'll get very little notice that deals are going to be withdrawn, and as such you might get consumers and customers wanting to kind of jump on and try and secure deals before they're pulled. That creates a lot of stress, a lot of tension. There's always a lot of emotion because it's around money, it's around the property, it's an emotive subject.
Right now the bank rate of interest is 1.75%. It could jump to 2.5%. That base rate sets a standard, but lender interest rates will head higher. It could lead to millions of people across the country spending hundreds of pounds more on their mortgages each year. In the last year, the Bank of England has slowly been increasing interest rates in an effort to bring down inflation. The idea is that people will save more of their money and spend less of it. But that can make things much harder for people that do need to borrow cash. Richard works for the debt charity Step Change. He says the cost of living crisis is the number one reason for people seeking help.
Immediately, this is going to be felt by homeowners, particularly those on variable mortgages. About 1 in 7 of the clients who come to Step Change for help with problem debt own their home and have a mortgage. So that will be felt quite immediately by some of those households. And further down the line, we can expect those interest rates to be passed on to higher consumer credit borrowing for people as well, who are relying on credit cards or other types of borrowing to get by during such difficult times.
This week, the government announced support for businesses to back up the tens of billions already pledged for households' energy costs. Tomorrow, there's a mini budget. It comes as inflation drops by a fraction, but remains at heights not seen since the 1980s. For now, financial support doesn't solve the problem. It only sedates it. Will Hollis for GB News in the East Midlands.